How to score 60 plus in company law exam in CS Executive. This is what we are going to do in this video. Now, in the CS Executive exam, the most important subject is company law. And company law subject, all the students face issues. Most of the students, 40s only they'll be able to score. Now, in the video, let us see how even you can score 60 plus in company law with very simple tips. Okay, this is Shilpi Periwal from Shilpi's Academy, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and make sure to you hit the notification button so you keep on getting great videos from us. Let's start. Now, company law is a paper 2 of your module 1, correct dana? Now, in the ma'am company law it's very tough, it's very bulky, rambo periye dana concepts irke, the lectures itself is 100 plus hours. That we can score well for this paper. See, in the paper total 19 chapters correct? But in the 19 chapters the most important chapters is lying in part 2. But before I start telling you how you can score 60 plus, let us understand what to do first. Your step 1 is you should start the paper correctly. Start the paper correctly, you should study in the correct sequence. It should not be like chinna chapters first panla, apro peri chapters idu rambo difficult chapters lastly we will do. No, it does not work out like that. Or particular sequence you have to study. So first you should definitely do your chapter 1 of company law. Ma'am, why chapter 1? Idhil basics CSET pandiya. They are coming directly from graduation route, right? So you should do this chapter first, introduction to company law, so that you understand about the basics of company law. Next important chapters in the 4 chapters most important chapters. General meeting, directors, board composition and powers, and meeting of boards. In the chapters, if you do it pakka approximately 30 marks to 35 marks is done for you. This entire part 2 is of 40 marks, and from this 13 to 16 you get approximately 30 marks of questions. 30 to 35 I would say. The next important is definitely this chapter. So ma'am, now how to go ahead with this chapter? First step that you should do is, start correctly. Start correctly enna ma'am? Start correctly is basically start in the correct sequence. So how will you start? You will do chapter number 1 first. Idi kya chapter 13, 14, 15, 16. Spend a lot of time on this chapter. Pakka video lectures parange, or if you are going for any coaching or you are doing self-study, whatever it is. Do these 4 chapters properly. After learning the concepts of this 4 chapter, then what to do, ma'am? Next dana, solve case studies. What will you do? We will solve all the case studies. Ma'am, from where will I get the case studies? Ma'am, case studies and all, it is there in your study material also. Okay, all the book back questions and all inside the textbook also you have a lot of case study based, because company law full and full case study, especially part 2. Yella questions case study based questions or situations they will be giving you, right? So this you have to make sure that you are doing it properly. And from where all we are going to find this case study, ma'am? Study material study material you will be finding out from your ICSI study material. Apart from this, ma'am, you can also see ICAIK study material, right? It is also there over there. Apart from that, scanner, ICSIK, suggested answers. Ma'am, do we have to study from all these places? See, in our academy, we give a question bank where we have compiled the case studies from the study material, from the ICI study materials, from the ICI previous year questions, from the scanner, from the previous ICSI questions, and even from CMA company law questions. So, all the case studies have been put together in this study material, in our question bank, right? So, all the study material is all the case studies are put together in this question bank. So, solve all the case studies from this question bank. Or concept, for example, quorum. If quorum or concept, if you solve all the case studies from various places, you will be able to look at that concept from various different angles, which is very, very important. Because in your question paper, kandipa or in the madri questions, which will be coming from, you also don't know where. Right? Or new questions they will definitely put in your CS executive question bank, question paper that you will be giving in your exam. So, make sure that you are solving all various types of case studies. That is very, very important. Then step 3 is your revise. Revise what, ma'am? Revise the concept and the case studies what you have learned on the same day. Structure your day in a way where morning what you have learned, you are spending at least half an hour to revise everything once again in the evening. And step 4, which is the most important, of course, is your writing practice. How will I do writing practice, ma'am? Either you can give tests or you can self-analyze your answers. Either you can give tests in whatever academy you have joined, try to appear for as many tests in test series, or write the answers and self-analyze your answers from the question bank or the suggested answers. Writing practice is rambo mukyama. Because if you don't do writing practice, you will never be confident of how to write the answers pakka. How I have to write the case studies, ma'am? You all know that you have to write the case study in 4 steps. First is your provisions you will mention. Provisions according to the section of so and so of Companies Act 2013 and the rules. Write that provision very, very properly. Okay. The section, the rule, etc. Next is facts of the case. Talk about the case which they have given you in the question. Seri. Apro third step dana, it is optional. Either you can compare this facts and provision, but in some case studies it is not possible to compare the facts and provisions. And last is your conclusion. So whenever they ask you a case study, never start with giving your judgment. Yes, it will be like this. No, it will be like this. Vanda. In the Madri, you will never get marks. First, whatever case study they ask you, give the related provision. Then you give the facts of the case, and after that, you compare both the facts and provisions and then give your conclusion. So this is very important for you to write a proper answer. Now, how to make sure, ma'am, that I will get 60 plus in this, even if I do all the learnings, all the case studies, I will revise, I will do the writing practice, I will even make sure that I am writing the answers like this. Apart from this, what is that I can get more marks? So in that, what you have to do is make a section chart. Make a section chart. Remember all the important sections. Quote all the important section. If you are confused, never write the wrong section, but make sure you are writing the right section. It is better not to write the section if you are not sure. Okay. Write the sections. Next, rule if possible. If not, the rule number. Rule numbers are not important, but just like Companies, Management and Administration Rules 2014 and the Madri rules, if you can quote, it is very good. Mention about secretarial standards also. Mention form numbers where required. Right, MBP 1 form, DIR 12 form, DIR 2 form. All these form numbers, if you mention, you will get very good marks. Apart from form numbers, remember penalty figures. And most important, if you can quote a case law. If all these things is there in your answer, section, rule number, according to secretarial standards also you have mentioned, if you have mentioned the form numbers or penalty or case law, wherever if the situation requires, some answer requires form numbers and penalty, some answer requires a case law, wherever you can mention all this. Even if a little bit your language is not very pakka in the answer, you will still get good marks. So make sure to follow all these points to score 60 plus in your company law and get an exemption. Continue to follow us, hit the subscribe button and share it with those who may find this video helpful. Thank you.